Shall I see Mr. All Even in NYC? He's so big. They call him boss. He's a boss. All even. He's so bad.
Sammy. It's just like, if you watch it, it's just like kind of funny.
Well, I mean,
it's like shouldn't be funny, but like just the, I don't know how to describe it.
all of those movies tend to have some
Cheese.
Yeah, like, you know what I mean, it's I think it's a part of it, but you know, as long as you don't have it for an extended period, it's fine. Alrighty. Let's try this again, and if it fails, we're going home. Fuck it. On a Friday night, All Even Podcast, we in the building. There's not a lot to talk about, but we're gonna find some stuff to talk about. Silence says, I don't care. We're here. How you doing?
Pretty good.
Yeah, you have a very, very busy weekend.
This morning.
You know?
Yep.
Somebody's turning a certain age. I don't know.
Allegedly.
You know?
World
Just don't be out there gallivanting in the streets, right?
I'm
I
not
stretched
much of
my
a
arms and said,
street walker.
This day
I
will be
used to be
righteous.
in my younger days.
Let it be
Not
righteous
anymore.
all the way.
I'm not much of a street walker.
No bitch ass.
Oh, come on. It's too early in the pod for you to have me crying like that. But listen, you're going to have a good time. I wish all the best for you because you're my buddy and that's the way it goes. I don't know what to talk about tonight. I really don't. We got World Cup stuff. I guess we can be able to mention that. I'm France all the way. How about that? That's it. We have Wemby signing an extension. He's doing his Jaylen Brunson thing. We're going to talk about that. Bam Adebayo punching people in the face. It's great. We got LeBron updates in regards to where he might be going. Jaylen Brown and Jayson Tatum allegedly had a non-existent relationship. Caitlin Clark, the DOJ and whoever the hell sent the letter, were just like, I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to have a lot of people upset. I am. I think that's it. Whatever else comes along. Irrelevant news of the week. And a dummy of the week. The greatest segment in the world. Dummy of the week. Now, I don't know where to start. But we'll start somewhere. We are going to start with Wemby. Victor Wembanyama signs a big-time extension. Oh, before I even get into that, what did I do? You can like, share, and comment, and YouTube, and page is growing. We are rapidly growing right now. We are approaching 15K, which is great. You know, Instagram, All Even Podcasts, TikTok at All Even Media. We are past 80,000 there. So crazy when you think about all these numbers. It's amazing. Mm-hmm. Who would have thought somebody would want to listen to me that much?
It's like, I feel like you just hit on YouTube just 10K. I remember like the announcement, just 10, like, what'd you
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden you've reached almost half of the 10K, you know, and I don't even know how long. It hasn't been that long.
No, it hasn't been that long at all. But listen, I appreciate everybody that subscribed, that you know, watching the videos. You know, we got Whistleblower. Those videos are going crazy right now. People are very opinionated about them. And, you know, I just say again, I just ask the questions. I ask the questions, and she goes ahead and delivers whatever she has to deliver. So, shouts to the Whistleblower. That's the homie. But Victor Wembanyama. Victor Wembanyama goes ahead and he takes the extension from the San Antonio Spurs. He is signing a 5-year, $252 million extension with the Spurs. Now, the reason why this is a big deal is because he left money on the table. And the biggest news story out there for the year for me, or even before when it actually got signed, was Jalen Brunson sacrificing and leaving all that money on the table for the Knicks to be able to build the team, build a competitive roster, and how many years later they're NBA champions. So Victor Wembanyama decided to take the 25% max instead of the 30% super max because he wanted to give the team a little bit more wiggle room to be able to compete. You want to see stuff like that because with my own team, with the Los Angeles Lakers, you had a guy like Austin Reeves take the full max instead of being able to give some of that money back to be able to help the team build a little better. Now, obviously, him signing whatever he signed this season doesn't affect the Lakers' spending power or whatever they spent on. But going forward, it does. And for Wemby, a small market like San Antonio, a team that's young, that has great young pieces, him being the best player on the team, and deciding not to be able to take every dollar that you can be able to take, it's pretty impressive. It's pretty impressive that he understands what's in front of him, understands the opportunity here to be able to win a championship within the next few seasons and possibly have the next Spurs dynasty. If you're going to be the spearhead of that Spurs dynasty, you need to show and prove. And if he wants to take a little less to be able to give back to the team so they have a lot more to be able to spend on or keep their own players, salute to the kid, man. You know, I was very critical of him in regards to his behavior. Just a maturity gap that I saw from him. I'm not going to continue to bash this guy because he's going to learn. He's going to continue to grow. He's going to continue to mature. He's going to continue to hopefully stay healthy and grow into the superstar that everybody wants him to be. And this is the first step of that, I believe. Him being able to accept that extension, wanting to stay in San Antonio, taking less money, and him being able to be the leader and the captain of this team to be able to lead them into the next generation. So I love it. I wish more stars would do this. I wish that more players would look at the opportunity and say, listen, I'm a very good player. If I just take a little bit less, I'm going to be able to make this back on the back end. Now, granted, you can never foresee the future. Who knows if guys get hurt or there's a career-ending injury where, hey, I took less, I can't play anymore, and I could have had more, right? Those are always risks that you have to take. But you do risk assessment. You realize what's happening. You bet on yourself, and you see exactly what's going on. For a guy like Wemby can be able to take any amount of money that he wants because his endorsements off the court are going to be massive. So his actual NBA salary really has no bearings on his actual net worth overall because he's going to be making a lot more money outside of basketball than he would be in regards to his NBA salary. So, salutes to the kid, man. I like to see this. I want to see this more. I want to see guys really start being a lot more team-friendly in regards to their deals. It's just like Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes is the highest paid player in football right now, but his deal is team-friendly all the time. He can always be able to restructure. You can't restructure in basketball. I'm not comparing. I'm just saying that this is a guy that took a team-friendly structure to be able to help this team maintain flexibility and stay competitive. That's what you want. You don't want to lock in and be like the Boston Celtics where they have two supermax players taking up 70% of the cap and they can't fill out the roster because now they're just like, okay, well, we have these two guys with these two albatross of contracts. How are we going to continue to compete? You can't have that. So, shouts to Wemby for that. Shouts to the Spurs for being able to get it done. R.C. Buford, Greg Popovich, all the bunch over there. They're close. They're right there on the precipice to be able to have this be a real legit dynasty. Them, Oklahoma City. Even I like what the Wolves are doing. I don't know if it's going to work, but I do like what these teams are doing because they realize the window of opportunity to be able to win a championship is literally right there in front of their faces. So, shouts to them. Moving on to a little bit more pressing news, I guess. Where is LeBron James going? Where? The rumor is that according to Brian Windhorst, is that LeBron has a deal in place somewhere, that he's kind of already accepted a deal somewhere, but it's not Cleveland. And a lot of people are trying to say that, oh my goodness, him and Rich Paul are trying to sabotage the offseason, or trying to hold the offseason hostage, and he wants stake in Philadelphia's ownership and blah, blah, blah. And if he wants that, then I don't want him. And I'm just like, come on, dude. Like, I don't think it's none of that. I think that LeBron is at a stage in his career where he has nothing to prove. He doesn't necessarily care to be the guy, but he also wants to go on a team where he can be able to slot into a particular position, do his thing, and not have to worry about carrying the burden of a team. Now, if guys are injured and he has to step into that role, he can do it. But at the end of the day, he wants to go somewhere where he can be able to fit basketball-wise. And obviously, LeBron can be able to fit in most places, but he wants the most ideal fit for him because this might be the swan song. This might be it. This might, he might not play another season after this. I hear that, he's going to have a documentary team following him around. If you're doing shit like that, then that doesn't sound like you're going to be playing 3 years down the road, 2 seasons. This looks like the last of it. So, let him take his time, man, and figure it out. I would love to see him in Cleveland. I think that Cleveland, although it's not the best basketball fit, I believe it's the best basketball story. Go back home. Finish it there. You know what I mean? Best basketball fit, you can say Golden State, but I don't even know how, with him and Steph, okay, cool, but the rest of the roster, how is that going to look? Philadelphia, clunky, but there's young stars there. There's Embiid there. There's something there, as well as Philadelphia having a championship drought. That's something that appeals to LeBron because there was rumors out there that had the Knicks not won the championship, there would be no bidding war. He would be heading to New York. So this is a guy that understands history. This is a guy that understands the importance of trying to find the right place to be able to help that franchise get to a place that they haven't gone in a very long time. That's important to him. That's a legacy to think about, right? He goes to Cleveland, goes back to Cleveland, wins a championship. First time in their history they won a championship. You have the Lakers that didn't win a title for a very long time before he got there. He got that done. So that's a pretty cool moniker to have. You know what I mean? And I think we'll get a decision within the next week. I think before the next show, I think LeBron James picks his destination. I just have a feeling. And I'm hardly wrong. It's a thing that I have to hang my hat on sometimes. And I'm hardly wrong. But I'm always, well, not always, but mostly first. Moving on. Did you hear about the altercation? Silent Assassin. Now, you don't follow basketball, but you do like the T. And I saw a story, and I was just like, is this real? So Shams reported this. Bam Adebayo, Miami Heat center or forward or whatever you want to call him, and former teammate Tyler Herro, because Tyler Herro is now in Milwaukee after the Giannis trade, got into a physical altercation in Las Vegas on Friday in which Adebayo struck Herro. Now, Shams likes to doll things up a bit. That's not what happened. It's not what happened at all. If you want to call it, altercation, fine. Bam punched Tyler Herro in the face. That's what happened. So, we have a lot of information here. Hold on, let me see. I want to go ahead and play this. Let me hear what Chris Haynes has to say.
Between Bam Adebayo and Tyler Herro this morning at a practice session, it seems like at a hotel here in Las Vegas. And I was able to speak with the Miami Heat to get comment, and they said they're aware of the incident, but they have no comment moving further. So this is a developing story. Bam Adebayo, Tyler Herro. I will say this, that there was a social media post by Tyler Herro a few weeks ago. It was something along the lines of Bam Adebayo's mid-range shooting, something along the lines of that. And so that could have been what caused that altercation.
So very interesting. What do I feel about this? Obviously, there had to be something that was brewing under the surface for this to be a thing, right? Why would you go ahead and just go haul off and go smack somebody or punch somebody in the face? There's many reasons. They could have been some underlying beef that they had. Tyler Herro could have, felt a way about the trade. Maybe he thought Bam was behind it. I don't know, or just something that was going on, brewing. They say right now, let me see, hold on, let me go ahead. Said the incident took place at a gym inside the Resorts World Casino in front of Herro's AAU team. Adebayo walked into the courts, and Herro said something to him. Adebayo proceeded to walk over to Herro and without hesitation punched him. Herro's AAU coach confronted Adebayo and Herro yelled at his former teammate while being escorted out by security personnel. Both players left the scene on their own. Herro appeared to have a small mark under his left eye during the interview. So, listen, fights happen. I don't know if we're ever gonna get any real clarification as to why this happened. This is not like one of those Draymond Green, Jordan Poole situations where he punches his teammate in practice and all of a sudden it gets leaked and it spreads like wildfire and just disrupts the team for the rest of the year. Tyler's not there anymore, and I don't know. I don't know how to feel. I mean, on a human aspect, if he says something crazy to Bam, yeah. Go see him. Go show him exactly what you about. But is this something that's going to be talked about in a couple of days? No, it's not. But my thing is if you are Tyler Herro, you must have felt real comfortable talking to somebody the size, of Bam Adebayo. Tyler Herro is not a big person. He's tall, about 6'3", 6'4", or something like that. But Bam is about 6'9", about 245. So whatever you said to him made him feel like he gotta knock you out now. Not even necessarily talk to you sternly and tell you, my man, we not even on that time. Nah, he decided to bypass the speaking and just go directly into giving hands and feet. That sounds personal to me. You know what I mean? Because I would give some word before I put hands and feet on you. But he just went straight to the hands and feet. So that sounds like there's some deep-rooted problems. I would love to know. And if we do find out, I will be talking about it. But yeah, Tyler Herro doesn't look like he can fight to me. He doesn't look like he can fight to me. He's one of those basketball players that get into a scuffle on the court and waits for the refs to like part it before it actually gets physical. You know what I mean? I've seen players like that in the court too. Like you play in a rec league and dudes mouth off, right? They talk crap and they think that they can talk crap to the point where they're protected because the refs are going to go ahead and part. But when the refs sit there and they're waiting to see what's going to happen and dude looks around like, oh, snap. Okay, well, I'm not going to get saved. Now you're going to get hands and feet on you. And when you're laid out, that's when the refs are going to come slide you off the court. You know what I mean? So I don't know what Tyler Herro did. I don't know what it's about. I hope that we find out. But if we don't, then it's just one of those things where like, look, don't talk to him. And if you're going to talk to him, make sure that you got your hands up. You know what I mean? Like, don't think that you can talk crazy to nobody. Because a lot of times people get comfortable, right? Like, you think that you have a relationship or you have carte blanche with a person, and you may say something, and that person might not be having a good day, and then you're gonna get the bad side of that. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. You know, shouts to Claw. I remember when we were kids, Claw did something to me. I was very upset. I was like, you know what? I ain't gonna talk to Claw at all. And when I see him on the playground, it's up. Like, I'm not coming to talk. I'm coming to throw hands. And I never forget it. He was out there wrestling thing. He was Shawn Michaels. And I would make a beeline to Claw. He knew it was coming, right? And immediately puts me in a headlock for like 5 minutes. And he's asking me, he's like, yo, you good? Nah, dog, let me go so I can throw these hands on you. Nah, I'm not going to let you go then. So I sat in that headlock for 5 minutes. He's like, you all right? You calm now? And then let me go. So sometimes you just got to know, who you're dealing with. You know what I mean? Like, that's all I'm saying. That's what Bam should have did to Tyler Herro. If he said something crazy, just throw his ass in a headlock. You all right now? You straight? You want to keep talking crazy? Or you want me to do something else to you? So, moving on. Jaylen Brown and Jayson Tatum. There's been this narrative for a very long time that these dudes don't mess with each other, right? Like, they're good on the court, but like off the court, they're complete opposites, and they are, right? Like they're polar opposites. Jayson Tatum is a guy that's, I wouldn't say that he's a quiet person, but he's just not very like expressive or opinionated about certain things. Kind of keeps to himself. Jaylen Brown is the complete opposite. This is a guy that graduated from Cal Berkeley. This is a guy that is a philanthropist. He does a lot in the community. He's very outspoken about a lot of things. And I had talked about it last week where if you have the moniker of being the smartest person in the room, that's not always a good thing. Like, that means that people find you extremely condescending, or they just find you to be, really, really arrogant. And because of that, now you would probably be persona non grata. So if anything happens, they'll look at you, they'll turn to you, they'll blame you, and you might not be at that place for very long because you are now deemed a villain. So I think Jaylen Brown got to a point in Boston where, as opinionated as he is, as passionate as he is about certain things, they looked at him as, you're not Jayson Tatum. You're just not. The rumor is, according to Shams, that teams called about both of them. Hey, is Jayson Tatum available? We'd like to, offer you whatever it is that we can offer you so we can be able to make this happen. And the Celtics shut that shit down immediately. He's not on the block at all. So then they were like, oh, okay. What about Jaylen Brown, though? Is he up? Can we have a discussion on him? You know what the Celtics said? Yeah. So if you're so gun-ho about your two superstars, and one of your superstars was injured with a torn Achilles, and the other guy held the team down and averaged damn near 30 points a game, if not 30 points a game, and led this team to the playoffs, and you deem him expendable. Why? There has to be a reason. Why would you offer both of these guys the supermax deals? And I've heard the rumor of Brad Stevens, oh, you can't have two max guys taking up. Yeah, sure. There's other teams that do it. Why didn't you want to do it? Because the thing is, you won a championship with it. So for you to win a championship with those two guys, why wouldn't you want to just try to reassemble the team around them? Or you looked at a guy and thought that he was the smartest person in the room, and now he's overstayed his welcome because you tried to trade him for Kevin Durant a few seasons ago. That didn't work. And you smoothed everything out. It was fine after that. There was no real backlash long term. You move past that. You win a championship. And then you're now putting him on the block again for Giannis. And I understand. Hey, you think that Giannis is the better player? Then cool. But I said that if you don't get this deal done, you got to move him. Like, there's no way you can be able to retain a guy like Jaylen Brown after you've dangled his name in trade talks for the last 3 years. He was going to leave. And according to Shams, because Stephen A. Smith asked the question, what their differences are, in regards to their endorsements and all this other stuff off the court. And Shams was just like, look, they're polar opposites. But for what I heard, from what I've been told, that there is no relationship between the two. It's like very non-existent. On the court, they ride for each other, they work hard, they do what they gotta do. Off the court, there is no camaraderie at all. Now, for me, I guess I'll ask you a question. Do you find that odd that their two best players have zero relationship off the court or field?
I think really, honestly, that matters is, if you're winning or not. If you're winning on the court, I feel like relationships off the court don't necessarily, I wouldn't say not matter, but they're just not as important, especially, after, they're working.
Yeah.
After work, I'm not hanging out with my coworkers every single night. Granted, there might be, a team dinner and everyone kind of goes, but individually, at the end of the day, they're coworkers. So not everyone's going to be best friends, but as long as you can kind of produce on the court or whatever sport you're playing on the field and whatnot, I feel to me, that's what matters most. And also, too, they have families, they have lives outside of basketball.
Yeah, they got other stuff to do.
Yeah. So I don't really see it as a big issue. The issue is, say they're playing and it's causing the team to lose and causing issues on the field and during the time that matters. I feel then that's obviously an issue. But outside of work, I don't really expect everyone to be best buddies hanging out all the time and whatnot. So, yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. I mean, you brought up the workplace analogy. Yeah, I'm like that. Once I finish work, I ain't trying to see you. But I'll see you tomorrow, though. I don't need, what do I need to see you for 8 hours for? And then we going to hang out after? And then I got to go to sleep in it? Nah, we not doing that. We're not doing that.
Especially for sports, like they're together literally every day for months.
Yeah, more than you are with your family.
Yeah, traveling, in team meetings,
Right.
practicing during the games. Like, get tired of people.
Facts.
Yeah.
Big facts. And for a dude like Jayson Tatum, I probably get tired of him too. It's like, yo, and you light skin, get away from me, dog. Like, get away from me. Like, y'all light skin people be doing some extra shit. Yeah, I agree. I never forget I was in high school, and they would have parties all the time. You know, certain places would have party here or whatever it is. It's like, oh, yo, you going? Yeah, I'm going. Never go. It wasn't the fact that I wasn't invited. I never wanted to go because I see you for 5 days. The same classes, same periods. We hang out at lunch sometimes and crack jokes. We go to the park and play. Why do I need to spend any more time with you on the weekends? That is my time to decompress from you fucking people. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, no. Maybe that's why like a lot of my relationships never worked. Cause I was just like, yeah, I just saw you, dog. Why are you calling me? Why are you calling? I just dropped you off. What are you calling me for? It's craziness. So, yeah, I mean, look, some relationships are meant to last a long time. They were together for like, 8, 9 seasons? That's a long time. So, for it to be over now and them be in different places and it was an abrupt ending, sometimes it's like that. Sometimes it's not this drawn out thing where, you know, you have time to kind of like digest it better. Sometimes it's just here one day, gone the next. But for them to like spark this up about them having a non-existent relationship, who gives a shit? They don't have to have one now. One's in Boston, the other's in Philly. Now maybe our relationship can get a little better because I can see you in passing. Hey, what's going on, my man? Everything good over there? Okay, cool. I don't need to share space with you anymore. I don't need to feel like we're jockeying for position in regards to whose team this is. It's your team. Have at it. Fuck do I care? Moving on. Like I said, it's a slow news week. It really is. Caitlin Clark. I don't necessarily have smoke for her. I think that she's a very good player. I think that what she's done in regards to exposure for the WNBA is great. It's allowing more sponsorship to come into the league, which is always a good thing. It's allowing salaries and stuff to go up because the revenue continues to go up as they continue to break or, you know, have very, very good ratings, attendance. Everything is up with the W, and I'm not saying that Caitlin Clark is all to praise for that. It's not all of her doing, but she is a part of it. You know, back in the NBA, back in the 80s, Magic and Bird knew who the cash cow was. It wasn't them. It's that little kid in Chicago that dunked on everybody. They knew he was the next up. And the NBA machine started to maneuver that way and start to build Jordan up as the guy. Same thing can be happening in the WNBA. You have Asia Wilson, Paige Beckers, but more Asia Wilson because she's the best player in the game right now. But is she the face of the league? No, it's Caitlin Clark. And I want to tell a story in regards to this because, like, I remember when Caitlin Clark first got to the league and we were having this debate about Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark, and who's better. Clearly, Caitlin Clark is better. And I went ahead and made a video to just explain that. Like, look, it ain't got nothing to do with race. I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about from a mere basketball standpoint. Angel Reese needs to work on her game. She needs to work with a layup coach. Do something to be able to improve because it ain't it right now. Caitlin Clark is better. And left it at that. And the responses, the comments, the vitriol that I saw in those comments, because there's a large portion of Caitlin Clark fans that are the most vile, racist, bigoted pieces of shit that you will see. And there's been this trend with her since she's gotten here that for some reason these extreme conservative people are Caitlin Clark fans. And with this last incident that she had with Alicia Thomas, and I saw the play, it didn't even look that bad to me. It looked like she kind of lost her balance. And if she did do it in a dirty way, she got suspended for it or whatever it was, fine. Like, it is what it is. You know, Caitlin Clark, she addressed it, said that, look, you know, it's unfortunate. You know, I would love for the attention to be on the game. You can talk about the flagrant for a little bit, but then you got to move on instead of beating a dead horse. You know, she also called out people that are using her name for like weird narratives, right? Talked about, you know, it's a physical league and there's so many other females out there that are doing their thing that are finding the physicality in the league, and it is what it is. So she's right there trying to, you know, not disassociate herself with the players in the league, but she's trying to blend in. And you can't fault somebody for that. Problem is that when you have terrible people in this country that are going to use you in a way to be able to push their political agenda, it's disgusting. And the reason why this bothers me so much is because although she said so many good things in that statement presser that she did, the one thing that I wish she would adapt, and maybe she will do this as she gets older, is call out exactly what the fuck it is. See, a lot of people like to operate in the black and white, but a lot of people also like to operate in the gray. And when you don't explain yourself fully in regards to who you're talking about, what you're talking about, and what you like for them to do in regards to you being able to use your bully pulpit to be able to get your point across. The biggest issue that I had with Caitlin Clark is the fact that she never called out the racism by name. Hey, for the people that are being nefarious or trying to push an agenda with my name, enough. For the people that are actually supporting me that are racist individuals that go ahead and belittle other people that are not the same skin complexion as me, go fuck yourself. In a nice way. She didn't have to say that, but she can be able to denounce those people. That's what I wanted. Because now you got the government trying to get involved. Oh, what's going on here? We want to investigate what's going on with Caitlin Clark. She's your cash cow. She's the face of your league. Why is she that? Because she's white? Again, Asia Wilson. I think she's a 3 or 4 time MVP at this point. One of the greatest players to ever don a WNBA jersey. That's the face of your league. Paige Beckers. Future star of your league. Sabrina Ionescu's hurt and, she's struggling a little bit, but you have players out here, and once Juju Watkins gets to the league, LeBron. You hear me? But Caitlin did her part. She did a lot to be able to push this league forward, but the racism and the now political agenda that they're using to push this girl or bring attention to what's happening is only to feed the base. The Christian nationalist, gay grinder, in the closet base. Well, you can't accept the fact that they're great black ball players in the league, that you have to hype up the only white superstar that you have. Why does it have to be about that at all? You can tell she's very uncomfortable saying certain things. She doesn't want to, I guess she doesn't want to put the focus on her, but guess what? The focus is on you anyway. So if the focus is on you, you might as well just lean the fuck into it and tell them directly, hey, hillbillies, I'm from a hillbilly state as well, and I can spot a hillbilly a mile away. For you people that are not comfortable around African Americans, for you people that are not comfortable around brown people, and you try to go ahead and say that you're a supporter of mine, I do not condone bullshit. So if you're going to go ahead and be a part of the team, support, do whatever you got to do, buy merch, make sure that there's not any racial undertones to your character. Make sure that you don't have any dirty memes or dirty posts about black and brown people. Make sure that you don't say the same dog whistle lines in the comments that I see all the time. Not a Caitlin Clark but guess what? She's right, man, and she's getting assaulted. You got people out there like Boomer Esiason. I want Boomer Esiason to go to Mars and them just discontinue the fucking rocket. Fuck Boomer Esiason. He was like, oh, well, the WNBA doesn't deserve Caitlin. She should go overseas and go play somewhere else. Why? Because you think that they're too physical with her? What does she say? Everybody else has their own fucking opinion. Their own racist agenda style opinions. But what does she say? She's a basketball player. Does she want the game to be well officiated? Who doesn't? Does she want the game to be less physical, so you have a more wide open game? Maybe. But why did you feel that you think that she was gonna what? Accept whatever racist rhetoric is coming out of that portion of her fan base? You think that she's gonna lean into that shit? She won't. And that's the problem. So for all of them that want to continue to have this hateful rhetoric, leave Angel Reese alone, leave Asia Wilson alone, leave any black and brown players alone just to enhance your point. You want to knock them down. You want to say racial stuff. You want to call them this. You want to call them that, just to be able to try to elevate Caitlin Clark to a level that she might not be at. Is she one of the great players in the league? Absolutely. Is she the de facto face of the league? Absolutely. But at the end of the day, there needs to be some type of responsibility from her to be able to denounce those hillbilly motherfuckers. Sorry, but not sorry. I don't care what people say. I don't care how they think. Most of Caitlin Clark's supporters are NASCAR fans, if you know what I mean. Most of Caitlin Clark's fans are real good Bible-thumping people. Most Caitlin Clark fans go on dates with their sister. Most Caitlin Clark fans are in the closet. So I would love for her to denounce that shit, because you send a message like that, that message reverberates. Instead of you being Switzerland, oh, well, you know, there's a lot of narratives out there, and I just tell people to... No, call it out for what exactly what it is. We need to make sure that the message is sound and it's sent. And that's the only thing that I was mad at in regards to Caitlin Clark. Outside of that, do your thing. Get healthy, because you're banged up. You're barely playing in games. Complaining to the fucking refs all the time that somebody's grabbing you. Come on, man. Get it together. But for the racist supporters that she has, go fly a kite on a windy cliff. And when you get there, let me know where Mitch McConnell is too. Moving on. What else we got? Oh, yes. The World Cup has been fun. You had an expanded field of teams for the first time in Cup history. And I've talked to people, shouts to my cousin Ryan. He said that it's the most entertaining World Cup he's ever watched. And we love that. We love the national pride that people have. We love the fact that they're supporting their countries and they come in droves. There's no other sport in the world that draws out international fans. No matter where they are, they're going to go ahead and support their team. It's beautiful. The one thing, though, that I am going to say here is that I am not rooting for Spain, and I am not rooting for Argentina. I'm not rooting for Argentina because there's a long history of racism in Argentina. I understand that they have the greatest fucking player to ever don a pair of cleats with Messi. Messi's the greatest footballer ever. He really is. But those France boys, they got my vote. They got a lot of Cameroon people over there, a lot of Africans over there in France. I like it. All right? So because of that, and the fact that they got the best athletes in the world, I'm going for France. This is the only time that you're going to see me back a France team. Because anything French in regards to Tony Parker, Victor Wembanyama, I don't want it. Okay? We don't do it over here. But in regards to the World Cup, yeah, sign me up. Sign me up. You know, for what that lady did, Celeste Amarilla, what she did to Mbappe with those horrible comments, those racist, you know, just vile words. And then had no shame in regards to trying to, like, there's no apology. She just stood 10 toes down on it. No matter what type of discipline she's gonna get from her own Congress in Paraguay. She's a fucking moron. But that's what happens, is that when you're black and you're talented and you go ahead and you best somebody who's not black, the first thing that they would do is they would try to advance their supremacy on you. That's all they're gonna do. Is that they're gonna go ahead and either pull from something that you have, or they're gonna go ahead and just create this bullshit narrative out of nowhere because they've already had that embedded into their heads. So, I mean, when is enough enough? When can we be able to look at something and say, you know what, man, this was competition, this was great, and you know, the rim or the whatever didn't get in the way, and we had a great final, we had a great run up to it, salute. No. We get bullshit. We get racism. We get bigotry. So for that reason alone, I'm rooting for France. I hope they win. And then when they do win, then the next time I want Jamaica to get into the World Cup and do something. I say Cape Verde. I see all of these people having a good time, and my damn reggae boys is at home. Why? Because they had to hit the post 4 damn times in a qualifier and couldn't win the damn game. Hurts, pain. We hate it, but we move on. Little quick note with the U.S. national team. With the whole, red flag thing against Belgium kicking their ass. That opened up a discussion I'd like to have about that, because the U.S. had its best finish in the World Cup's history, if not tied, or they're up there. So the U.S. has talent, but they will never win a World Cup. Never. And the reason why I say never is because there's 2 factors. One, our pipeline here is not the best. Why? Because soccer, that's what we call it here, soccer is a very expensive sport. To be able to have your son or yourself join a club team, it's going to cost you multiples of thousands of dollars. Who has that type of money laying around? It's like you want somebody to become the best golfer in the world, and it's an expensive sport. Tennis, it's an expensive sport. Everything that doesn't have a price tag on it, you can be able to have more of the pool of demographics play your sport. So they have to find a way to be able to bridge that gap, to be able to have certain programs that can be able to help kids get to, schools, or, whatever it is in regards to what their next sporting development will be. They have to have sponsorship. They have to have people that believe in them, that want to take them out of bad areas and bad surroundings and give them a better life. All of these things are factors into what's going on with U.S. soccer. The other part about that is that Ronald Reagan said a long time ago, you can go to Germany, you can go to Japan, you can go to Switzerland, whatever the hell it is. You will never be German. You will never be Japanese. And you'll never be Swiss. But if anybody from another country comes here, they are an American. And that brings me to my point. Football is a world game. Everybody around the world plays it. Most of the talented players are taken out of one region, and they go ahead and they start playing in another region, which means that a lot of these players have dual citizenship. So which means that you can be able to choose where you want to play depending on whatever. And there used to be a rule where you had to like lock in at a certain time and you couldn't switch. Like you had to, if this is what you declared on your paper, this is who you have to play with. Now it's not like that. Now you can be able to have, I believe it's a parent or grandparent that are born in another country. I don't know if they need citizenship or whatever it is, but if they're born there, they're citizens. That you can be able to choose, and now you can be able to be a part of that particular national team. That's America's problem, is that there's so many players that are children of migrants, that those kids were born here, the dreamers, right? They were born here. Or they might have been taken here very young and they're citizens. All they know is here. And let's just pick a scenario is that this kid, and we're talking about just men's soccer because women dominate, but men's soccer, he's one of the best players in the world, probably top 2, and joins the U.S. national team, the 17 and under, then joins, I think it was the 21 league or whatever it is, and every club team around the world wants him. He's that good. Then comes the World Cup. His parents are from Cameroon. They have some French in them because of the colonization. Some Creole, whatever it is. And he says, oh, well, I've always gravitated towards my parents' legacy and lineage and culture. I'm going to play for France. You were born here. So you see what I'm saying is that there's too much variables, too many variables to be able to have the U.S. be dominant in a sport where they might not have control of their own athletes that want to choose to go play somewhere else. We do not have a strong pipeline of talent. That's why we're here. That's why the U.S., as good as they are this go around, they will never crack through because the gap of talent is like, it's the Grand Canyon. It's Mount Everest. From the top to the bottom. That's how wide the gap is internationally. So, can they fix this? I don't know if they can fix that part, but they can maybe be able to convince these guys, put in I don't know what they can do, but you have to find ways to be able to get the best talent. And sometimes the best talent is just not an American. Most of the time. And for you to be able to get somebody like that, it's going to take double the responsibility, honestly. And I don't know if Team USA in soccer has the bandwidth for it. They need to go out there and go get sponsorships. They need to build and grow this game. If they can be able to build and grow the game within the states to make this more competitive, just like how it is with other things. Because think about it. Like, it's so stupid, right? It's such a stupid thing that I'm going to talk about, but we talk about it anyway. Baseball. What is the name of the final series?
World Series.
When the Super Bowl ends, what do we call them?
So like world champions.
When somebody wins a championship in basketball, what do we say?
It's world champions.
Right. Yet, the world game doesn't recognize any of that. Any of the stuff that we do, they don't pay attention to. Because they know what the real world game is. They understand it, so they will never accept any bullshit from you outside of that. So they got to figure it out.
Just that the world, like with just like baseball, basketball, football, like people like I've seen like people don't even like accept that as being a world champion.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you're not world. Like I'm like baseball. Like, how many countries are playing? Like, granted, you're playing in the United States, but there's how many countries in the league? You know, football's different. There's not many non-Americans playing. Basketball, you have diverse, you know, countries there as well.
Yep.
But it's like, for me, like, you don't have to necessarily be playing for like a certain country. It's like the makeup of the best players
Yeah.
of this sport. Like American football is American football. It's not played outside of that really. So, but like, it really is a good point. Like, I didn't know that you can just technically be like have some sort of lineage tied and you could just play for whatever. I feel like that doesn't really make sense to me when it's like a country thing. Like, I feel like you should be kind of that, like, born from that kind. I don't know how to say it, like, because like I know they do that in the World Baseball Classic, where granted, like, it's hard to pull like a lot of people like from like European countries, like Italy and stuff. Like, there's no Italian born players in baseball, so like that makes some sort of sense. But like since soccer is such a huge sport globally, like, it's like, okay, like, rosters can be filled out. Like, why do we have to kind of pull around and let that be offered? Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
I mean, I get it. It's just that, you know, I guess they do that because, you know, there's so many people out there that associate themselves with a different side of them, right? Mm-hmm. Like, if you grew up around a certain culture and you've embodied that, but you were born here, that's the beauty about being an American, is that you can be able to choose your own path. You can be able to choose what you want to do, right? And that's a good thing. I think even if we were to like change the rules and say, hey, listen, if you suit up for Team America, you're an American. You're not going anywhere. Are you gonna be getting the highest, the best talent?
Mm-hmm. So I think I'm thinking more of like the like born and raised like American, because I know like what people with like Hispanic parents who moved here, like, you're not necessarily, I feel like you don't really live, like, you're still like living a very like Hispanic upbringing, if that makes sense. Like, it's not that, I don't know, I feel like I'm putting myself in cancel culture, like, I'm not trying to sound like that, I'm trying to word it right, but
land the plane.
I should just shut up. Yeah, I'm not trying to mean it in any way. I just bad at explaining myself. But yeah, I'll just let you continue to talk.
Nah. I mean, like, I understand what you mean. It's just like, you know, you if you're an American, you feel like, listen, if you're an American, you should be only playing for that thing. But the fact of that being an American means that you're so multicultural and diverse. That's what we are. You know what I mean? So for for somebody to be pigeonholed into just being one thing when you're not, it's a little dicey.
I guess I'm thinking like in the Olympic way, like the Olympics, you have to be from that country, correct? Like you have to be born if you want to represent.
I believe the rules are it might be a little similar as well. Like you probably have to have some type of, like I said, it's your grandmother or your grandparents or your parents have to be living there or from there or whatever it is for you to be able to, have an option and be able to switch over. So I don't have an issue with it. But I just that's the US's problem, is that you're not gonna get the best talent in the world. Just not. Because all the best talent in the world are not Americans. And I'm talking about like full blown, just, born and raised here. My family's from down south. We have American culture. We are from here. Are you actually going to get the best of the best talent with people like with that particular background? I'm sure you can be able to find some diamonds in the rough, but it's not often. It's not common.
I feel like the only sport, honestly, that's like that is football. Like
Yeah.
American football, like baseball, like a lot. Like there obviously are like a lot of American players that are great, but it's like also 50-50 with, Hispanic players and
Right.
whatnot, and NBA with like European players and all
Yep.
that stuff. Yeah, so.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting. I've been a Team USA football fan for a while. I'm just like so disappointed. Every 4 years, I'm just like, I'm done with them. I'm done with them, and then I'm not. But you just gotta appreciate them because they'll never be able to compete at the highest level because of the lack of resources here. All the rich white kids that are going, or rich black kids that are going into, soccer teams and club teams that cost thousands of dollars, or, buying a basketball goal for them to practice, or, a net or whatever it is you're going to do to be able to try to like get them to get better. It just doesn't matter. It's too much of a wealth gap that's stopping the real talented players that don't have the funds to have a shot. So you need to make the sport less expensive. I don't know how they're going to do that, if they can, but they should. So. Moving on. Irrelevant news of the week.
You got to be kidding me. I mean, how do you watch them? They stink.
Every week we go ahead and we discuss some news here. What do we got? What do we got, Silent Assassin? Let's see. Oh, this is interesting. Chris Blake Griffin. Man accusing Stephon Diggs of drugging and essaying him after having his brother jump him turns over 100 pages of texts and DMs with NFL star. Wow. You can be able to see these text messages. What does it say? Is that Drake? Says May 2029, Chris Blake Griffin was attacked and robbed by Stephon Diggs' blood, Derez, and 2 others. Interesting. Well, all of these are allegations. You got to see how it plays out, like how we always say. But if this is true, he's on Dwight Howard level. Yeah. That ain't no wrong with that. Just let the people that you dealing with know what it is, unless they already know what it is.
Yeah, what was like Kitty Cat or something? What was Dwight Howard's
Yeah, what was
person?
his thing,
It
man?
was like something weird.
Wild like that. Yeah.
No, but like that's something like I don't think that he is, but I wouldn't be surprised just because it's that world of like I feel like sports, like football and basketball, like I'm always seeing like kind of gay men and be like, oh, like you wouldn't believe the guys that are in my DMs and whatnot.
Right.
Like it's a lot of particularly basketball and football players. So you know, whatever.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, look, I remember when the whole thing with Dwight Howard came out. Everybody gave him shit for like maybe 2 days, and that was it. We went on. Like, it's just, you know what I mean? Like,
Isn't it like also I don't know how many kids or if he has any Dwight Howard, but like isn't it like a thing too? Like if a guy like has a lot of like kids with multiple women, he's just trying to also like potentially hide himself away.
yes, absolutely, absolutely, 100%. So, we ain't got much, but I mean, here's a question for you though. You think he went? Trying to get it out. You think he did this before or after Cardi? Oh no, it clearly says before. So
Yeah, I was gonna say just like before because she's you know she's wild, so I feel like
Yeah.
she might like
she'd have pulled up
beat
on
him.
his ass
Yeah,
and beat the hell out of him. Yeah, she'd have pulled up and beat the hell out of him, man. That's New York all day. Moving on. Who else we got here? Oh, here we go. Man cuts his junk off with a knife and then uses his own leftovers to set a fire.
What?
Exactly. A 36-year-old man named Christopher Pedden from Indiana, and it says surprisingly, not from Florida, is facing serious, troubling charges after doing the most strangest thing. He used his own body parts to start a little campfire. It's crazy.
Was he like high on something?
No.
Like, what?
Said they found Christopher walking down the street, bleeding. He also told the cops. He told the cops a whole lie, claiming that somebody had stabbed him downtown because they were mad at him. Once the doctors got him to the hospital and started looking at the damage, Christopher knew he couldn't hide the truth anymore. So, what is it? You just cutting off things to start a fire? For what?
You want just get a stick and some paper and
Like, yo,
lighter.
you go to the most extreme shit? The fuck are we talking about? It's crazy. Absolute nonsense. Let's see here. Oh, this is interesting. Female pastor arrested after getting caught giving oral on men to suck out their demons.
Ew.
Yo. That is diabolical. Yo. So you could be like, yo, dog, you heard that such and such is at the church. Word? What's she doing at the church? She asking for communion? Nah. She's the pastor now. Okay. You go in there and you concoct some story and you get that done, and then word passes around and says, yo, all you gotta do is concoct the most outrageous story and she will help you. She will help you release.
Like, I need an exorcism right now.
Facts. Listen,
Okay.
you don't arrest people like this. They are doing a community service. Okay? How dare you disrupt what this small town got going on? It's none of your business. It's none of your business to go ahead and go violate something special these people are doing. Why? Why would anybody report this? Who hated? Who hated and messed up the rink? That's all I want to know. That's all I want to know. Who blew the whistle on this thing? Because man, oh man, I'm sure all of the guys that participated were upset. So you mean to tell me we got shut down? Why? Because somebody else was hating? Some incel didn't want to come in here? Come on now. It's nuts. This is absolutely insane. Let me suck the dick. Pause. Well, not for her, but for me. Yes, that's strange. Very strange. Moving on. After losing $970 million at the box office with his last 4 films, Jared Leto currently has no upcoming movies. You know why? Because he's made movies for the last 4 fucking years. You don't think that Jared Leto is good with cash right now? He don't need to work. He don't need to work.
I mean, like, I don't know when the last time he's made music, but he's also, like, a really talented musician.
Super.
Yeah, like, a crazy voice. And then running his camps or whatever you want to call them with women. So that's, I don't know. That's definitely some interesting stuff he's got. He's like a Jesus leader. I don't even know what he does, but some cultish stuff. But yeah, also like he's in Marvel, like, well, not Marvel, the superhero universe, DC, right? So he's getting a big paycheck from that, but he doesn't really need to work. So
No,
yeah.
he doesn't.
Yeah.
He does not. Like, that's the thing. It's like, I hate when people attach box office success or failure on an actor or whoever's in the movie. Like, I accepted this role. I did my job. The fucking movie sucks. That has nothing to do with me, per se. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I did my part. Now, if I didn't do my part to perfection, and you can criticize my abilities or whatever I did in the movie, cool. But the success of a movie, like, I've seen people have great. It's a good movie, and the movie doesn't do well in the box office. That doesn't necessarily mean that the movie's not good. Like, for example, we're going to take Jared Leto, for example. I watched He-Man. It was fucking great. He did an amazing job as Skeletor. Did the movie do great in the box office? No, it didn't. Is that his fault? Is that the actor's fault that played He-Man? Is it Idris Elba's fault? It's none of their faults. If a movie doesn't hit, sometimes things just don't hit. But that doesn't necessarily mean that they didn't do their part. He-Man was a good movie. I think that what was the other movie that he was in? It was oh my goodness.
Suicide Squad, come out.
Suicide Squad, that was bad. That's kind of bad.
He's in Tron.
Tron.
I know
Right.
There's
yeah,
one more.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. That last Tron was kind of bad.
It's just like it's just too much producing. Like, people like aren't really asking for those certain movies.
Yeah, I think like you said, right? I think he's in the wrong genre.
Yeah.
Like, if he just goes back to like Requiem for a Dream, Jared Leto, or goes into some psychological thrillers, dramas, like, he can do that.
Yeah, he's in American Psycho. He was in some,
Yeah.
like, his earlier career, like when he was in like just like cool stories
Right.
and stuff, like not the blockbuster cash grab movies.
Right.
Like, he did really well, and he is really talented. I think he was in Panic Room with
Yep.
Kristen Stewart when she was younger. Like, just really like like thriller, suspenseful, horror types movies. Like
Yep.
really fits him well. Yeah.
So yeah, I felt bad, man, because every time I see a Jared Leto movie, it just always seems like it just equates to just not being successful in the box office. Like for me, like the way He-Man ended, you gotta have a sequel. But if it didn't do well, then is a sequel already automatically canceled?
Like is how big is He-Man like in that
The budget?
comic? Well, like in comic world, like do people like want to see that?
Oh nah, He-Man was big. Like
Yeah.
He-Man is a because it's not Marvel or DC.
Oh, it's not. I thought
No.
it was DC now.
It's it was just a really, really cool cartoon as a kid. Like me watching it took me right back to me eating Frosted Flakes on my floor watching TV and hearing that theme song, seeing Man of Arms, He-Man, She-Ra, Cringer, all of these characters, and it's just like, yo, dude, like, I've been waiting my whole life for this. Although they had a movie before Masters of the Universe that was 1996, anywhere between 95 and 97. And that was cool, but then this is now an updated version of that, and you appreciate that. People who are fans of the He-Man character, we enjoyed the movie. Everybody that I spoke to that watched it was like, yo, this is good. It's 80s cheesy, but we'll take it. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's going to be one of those movies that may not have done well in the box office, but will end up being a cult classic. You know what I mean? So, but I feel bad for Jared Leto. I just want him to have one of those ones. Like, have a banger movie that does well and you're up for several Oscars. Mm-hmm. That's what I want for him. Because I think he's so talented. You know what I mean? Like you said, with his music, his acting, this is a guy that just, whatever he does it well. But sometimes that doesn't always equate to success in the box office. But that doesn't necessarily mean that you're a terrible actor. You know what I mean? So, unfortunate, but that's just the breaks. Moving on to this thing that you sent me, Silent Assassin. This fight.
Yeah, put it up.
I don't understand what the hell. But so it happened at Oracle Park between the Giants and the Rockies. They're playing, and all of a sudden, these girls start fighting right there in the stands. And the biggest takeaway from this video is not the girls fighting, because listen, that's something that we used to always like to see in high school. We always like to see the girls fight, because we would just like egg them on, because the girls get reckless when they fight. Like, men and women fight completely different. Like, men can fight organized and they, you know what I mean? But like women, it is a pure six brawl when they fight. You know what I mean? There's a lot going on, right? But in this situation here, you got the guy in the 52 jersey is he's kicking a girl in the corner while they got her on the floor, and then he starts wailing on another girl while he gets picked out of that corner. It's just like, what are you? Is there no dude around to be able to grab your ass up and handle business? Like, we were talking about it off pod, it's like the dude that actually pulled him away did it ever so gently. Ever so gently.
Yeah. Also, too, it's like, where's, like, because there's, well, I don't know if it's just maybe because it's New York, but,
Yeah.
like, there's police at the Mets game. Like, where's, like, the police, where's the security, like, coming down and, securing the situation? But it's like, you see a woman getting beat up, multiple women get beat up by a man, like, no other man steps up, and there's, like, other men, like, trying to separate the women, but why aren't you separating the man and the woman?
Right.
Like it's crazy.
Yeah, I didn't understand that. I didn't understand it at all. But the one takeaway that I did take away from that video was the last girl that was getting hit by him. Yo, she took all of the hits and kept it pushing, which means that he can't fight.
No. Yeah, she got right back up. Like I checked. Like I was expecting to see like her face beat up.
Nothing.
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 Like
She must have looked. She must have looked at him and said, "Is that all you got, chump? Cool. Let me go handle this. Let me go handle this girl in the corner. I'm gonna come back for you." Like, it was just like everybody's mad at him when they saw that video. The girls fighting, okay, whatever they fighting over, and obviously we talked about this as well. Is that, you know, if you're somebody who's having a fight at a ballpark, you have issues. What? We're gonna argue about our teams? Oh, well, I don't like your team. Well, I don't like your team, dog. Get the fuck out of here with this bullshit. Like, if it's not something like, you know, we've seen some racist shit that goes on in the stands or some like overzealous woman or man that does some shit and like they get in your face and now you have to defend yourself. Like, we've seen things like that, but like outside of just like those rare occasions that those things happen, you arguing over a fucking team or your team getting beaten, you getting mad because you're getting hazed. Motherfucker, you're in a foreign ballpark. That's what comes with the territory. Don't wear that bullshit if you can't handle it. I'm not going to Philly in my Mets jersey unless I'm ready to fight. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going down there unless I'm ready to go jaw jacket some dudes.
It's like you have to like understand, like some places like you just don't like show up like that.
Yeah. And it's supposed to be peace anyway at the end of the day, right? Like, you're supposed to be there if you're with your family, your friends, you just enjoy the game, talk shit, and go home. Why does the shit talking have to continue to escalate during all the innings? Yo, dog, I talked to you in the first inning. Why are you still talking to me while it's the seventh? I just want to enjoy the game, bro. And then the game is over and you still talking.
Yeah. Like, you can have some, like, friendly, like, back and forth, but people who are, like, dead serious and they get angry, it's
Yeah,
like you got
they got mental problems.
Yeah, you got problems.
They got problems.
Yeah.
What did you say about Lindor? Like, what the fuck do I look like doing no shit like that? I'm going to get mad at you because you don't like Lindor?
Yeah, that's just crazy.
Yeah, cool. You don't like Lindor. Go fuck yourself. Don't care. Don't care. So, but that was interesting. We got Dummy of the Week. Do you have a dummy?
Dummy, yeah.
Because I do.
I had one. I don't know if I remember. It's kind of oldish, but I did make him my dummy before. But just again, I just really just don't like this person. Dalton Rushing, I just don't like him.
Oh, he talks a lot.
Yeah, he's just
He talks a lot.
especially on a team like the Dodgers. I feel like he's definitely a player that just can ruin that situation.
Yeah.
Just annoying, entitled. Like, I'm talking about, like, the whole, like, I don't know if you saw it, like, the whole Shohei thing. Like, I understand, like, you know, like, you're like his catcher. You're supposed to work together, but, like, you, like, treating Shohei like that and, like, saying, I forget, like, what he mouthed, like, worded to him, but he, like, was, like, annoying. I'm like, that's Shohei Ohtani. Like, he's, like, the best player, you know, on the planet. Like,
all he has to do is
yeah.
just make a phone call.
Yeah. I'm like, you gotta watch what what you're saying, yeah. So, I just don't, like, he's just an annoying guy for, you know, I just don't like him, so.
I respect that.
Dummy,
I tell you, all Shohei has to do is make a phone call, and he's not even going to make the phone call. It's going to be the interpreter to make the phone call. And then the guy on the other line will be like, okay, can you tell Shohei or ask him what he wants us to do with Dalton rushing, and then Shohei is gonna say in English, Mars. Mars. I heard he talks well though.
I think they all do. Well, like not everybody, but I feel like a lot of them do. But it's just like there is certain things that they'd rather have interpreters just because if they do say the wrong thing and they don't mean it, like it could just ruin their, ruin them. So like they just rather have an interpreter speak for them.
Right.
Because like there's a lot of players that like you could hear them like during like side interviews and whatnot, like with social media, for example, like, oh, like you speak perfect English.
Right.
How come you don't go on live TV like that? It's just, I guess, like for safety, public image safety. For
Code
them.
switching.
Yeah. So, yeah. Because like there's some player, I remember like for the Mets, Edwin Diaz all of a sudden one day decided to speak in English to his own interviews. I'm like, when did you learn English? I know Francisco Alvarez, like he really like tried to learn English, and then I was like so kind of happy for him, like when he stopped using the interpreter. But like Edwin Diaz, it was like perfect English. I'm like, oh, I didn't know even though you spoke English because you've been using an interpreter for all these years. But
yeah, it's a fact. Yeah. That is a fact. So Dalton rushing, sorry, you have to get the
Dummy, yeah.
For me, there's only one. It's Donald Trump. Donald Trump gets my...
Dummy, yeah.
For you to think that you're going to go ahead and try to change the trajectory of a World Cup. I understand your narrative. Hey, it's America 250. The World Cup is played on American soil. The Americans haven't gone back here in a very long time. The star player of the team is out. I need to insert myself to help. Because let's be honest, what if Trump would have did this, they win, and then they end up winning the entire thing? Is anybody even thinking about what Donald Trump did? No. Because winning cures all. But guess what they didn't do? They didn't win. They got their asses handed to them. And then when the Belgium team was finished, they did Donald Trump's gay dance. They did that one. Right? But my biggest thing is that, like, you think that you can play God. Cool. Can't do it because we've seen you fail on so many times, so many instances, so many occasions. You go to a summit, and you probably haven't seen this, but he was wandering off like a dementia patient. And the prime minister, that's how you know when you're old, when somebody like has your arm and they're guiding you. You only do that to old people. Mm-hmm. And those same old people is like, hey, like, come on, we're trying to take a picture, and they're wandering off, and you have to be able to reset them. That's dementia. Nobody with their right faculties is going to do that. So for me, you're having a rough week, you go ahead and you go do bullshit, you make the U.S. lose, we're blaming you, we're calling it the Trump curse. You everything you've touched turns to garbage. Absolute garbage. The White House is unrecognizable. This shit looks like it looks like the Van Wyck. That's what it looks like.
Yeah, I saw the thing you sent me. It's like really like the Rose Garden. Like that's just so like.
Yo, did you see what he did to the Rose Garden?
It's like such like a beautiful like landscape, and you just put a patio. It's just, like, crazy.
With some cheap ass lawn chairs.
Yeah, and umbrellas and
like
lawn chairs.
dog.
It's crazy.
Dog. So for me, this was the greatest America 250 gift you can give to somebody. That the U.S. loses in big fashion. U.S. in regards to their standings around the world, terrible. And Donald Trump is trying to hide because there's some rumored assassin platform from Iran that, guess who told them they're trying to do something to him? Israel.
His
Come
boyfriend?
on.
His
We're
boyfriend?
seeing the play here. Okay, cool. You're going to go tell him that there's something going on so you can continue to have him be your warmonger. So, not going to happen. Donald Trump, bad week. You can be able to rebound from it. No, you can't because you're a
Dummy. Yeah.
and, we're just going to wait you out. Until next week, stay safe, stay cool. Peace.
Every win, every loss, every second got a cost to be the boss. Late nights, pressure heavy, never fold. Championship mindset, heart made of purple and gold.